Hello folks, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. I'm 𝘊𝘠𝘀𝘆𝑑𝑖𝑒𝑠, and today I'm going to move the printing pod. I installed a mod that should allow us to deconstruct and rebuild it. Let me just make sure it exists somewhere. I don't know what a mini pod is. I'm not even worried about it. I just want to do the printing pod because there's something that's always kind of bothered me, is that it's not centered. It's a small thing, but, you know, I mean, I was considering shifting the entire base one tile to the left. Instead, I'd rather just shift the pod one to the right. So let's have that happen. I'm just checking to make sure that nobody's idle. No, we're just taking a little break there at the end of the day. And boy, I hope this works. Not a whole lot has changed around the base since last episode, other than I started working on another cooler. I started building it anyways. We are very low on steel though, and I want to expand out here into that area, but we definitely need to supercharge our steel making system because we're just not cooling stuff down over here fast enough. So you can see I used to have this water pumping through here. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to divert some of the coolant from over here into that system, because we just have excess coolant to be used right now. Let me just see. I think we'll just run a ladder right across there, and that'll help get that done. And then we can run the metal refinery just constantly, really. The other thing we could do is simply take off of that coolant line and return to it, but we used to do that and I didn't really love that approach, so I'm not going to return to that. We'll just cool down its reservoir. It should be fast enough, or yeah, fast enough, because we're trying to keep this water under 42 degrees. It's sitting at 43 and it has been for a while, so the amount of cooling we had going on was just not doing it, and the hydrogen is not capable, I would say, of doing it fast enough. So that's fine. That's why we have these cooling loops. And I would like to reinstitute the cooling loop into the base because we're starting to heat up a little bit again. But I'm just not ready for that. I've been trying to, well, actually, you know what? I went old school and I found a piece of paper and a pencil and I started to like spreadsheet my way to planning the base. And I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm thinking up here we're going to do kitchen. Actually, I think it was going to be Great Hall and then kitchen. I was just kind of planning things out. That dehydrator doesn't need to be there. Nor, in fact, does this printing pod. Let's move the printing pod one to the right. Oh, you know what I want to do first? Hold on, cancel that. Inspect. I didn't realize that we hadn't done that. I search my incoming message history and find a single entry. I move the odd message into my database. Attention all 𝘊𝘭𝘙𝘮 personnel. Evacuation protocol in effect. Reactor meltdown in bioengineering imminent. Remain calm and proceed to emergency exits. Do not attempt to use elevators. That gets us one whole data bank, but it's good. We could definitely do with that data bank. All right, printing pod, you've done us well. Goodbye. And that was made out of iron ore. So let's take printing pod. We'll make it out of iron ore. We'll put it right in the center. And then everything will be right in the world. And then the base is done. Hooray! No, I really wish. I am at a point where I'm looking at a lot of things and it's like, yep, it's got to go, it's got to go, it's got to go. But there needs to be places for stuff to go. These ranches, I think what I might do is create a new block with its own central transit tube and have that be just for ranches. And I considered, like, well, we could put ranches against this wall here. We can't really, because there's not enough space unless we want to do them tall, which is a fair option. But I think we just use some of the newfound space that we've got. Like, I was going to use this space anyways, and throw in some, you know, cooling to the area and the whole thing, and make it work. Let me just see here. because there's probably, yeah, there's like just a ton of space. That's 6 tall, so. But if we go with the 4 tall spaces, I don't know, I am actually now thinking, like, what's wrong with going 96, 16 by 6? And having several blocks of that nature. I don't know, we'll play with that in a minute. But anyways, printing pod is there. Build a great monument. I really want to. I really want to. But we need to get rockets on the go, which means we need to get the steel on the go. So, another thing I did actually between episodes is I changed the priorities a little bit to favor operating and added some extra skill to people who can operate. Because that was, I guess, what was holding back our construction of heavy power lines. Is we needed probably, I think it was mechatronics engineering or something like that to get that done. So we've done that. The other option I was thinking of is making an industrial block for, you know, the rock crusher. This rock crusher can disappear now. This is one of the remaining buildings over this side. Get rid of you. Get rid of these guys and that. And we're still using this, which is fine. In fact, though, we are ready to take out some of this extra piping just because we're straightening things out. Yeah, we're slowly getting a few things cleaned up. I'm even tempted to move the fish. One thing I did pick up was a lot of sleet wheat. And I'm curious. We have surf and turf. We have lettuce. I would really like to get some burgers made. Frost burger. If we turn off surf and turf for a minute, can we just... Oh, we need barbecue. Well, I know a way to get barbecue. It involves death. And lag. How are we doing here? 6 of 8 critters, 8 of 8 critters, 8 of 8 critters. These are still coming along. Reproduction. I'm just gonna go have at someone with low reproduction, like you. And that's probably good. I went and moved the egg thing down here to where the lettuce is. And our exosuit forge, so that it just kind of frees up this area. Ideally, I would like to have the central block here for living stuff, including the kitchen, the infirmary, the great hall, the massage parlor still remain around the printing pod. And then have 96 wide spaces, kind of like we do over here for ranches. But I do think that the ranching can all just happen in its own area. I would like to expand out to 4 hatch ranches because the coal situation, we've lost, I guess in the last 2 or 3 episodes, I want to say 70 tons of coal we've burned through. So we need more hatches just to keep coal production up. We will, you know, do what we can with the solar power, but I realized as well that we need 50,000 lux on every tile to get full production, and we just don't have that level of light here. It is night, they're just past nighttime. We get up to 40,000, something like that. And so that's why we're never going to be able to really use solar as a... I mean, it never really was going to be a full replacement because of its temporary nature. Oh yeah, let's have some water. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, flood my stuff. You know what I should do is just yeah, I don't have any steel for bunker tiles, so that's an issue. So forget about it. I won't do it right now. Maybe we'll just no, replacing it doesn't make any sense. We're just gonna have to deal with the water. What was that? Phosphorite. Okay. Yeah, where the steel is just such a sticking point right now. It's got to take precedence. And I think we just use what we have as opposed to reinventing everything. So on the way back up, it's still like 13 degrees, this stuff, so let's have a line come out. And then we will somehow make this work. Actually, I think it can go straight into here. Give that a little snip, give that a little snip. Into there, up and around, back over there. Give this a little snip. We cancel that. We gotta reconnect it like that. Bring that over and down. Well, I guess that's one thing we could have done there. What are we using for this anyways? Aluminum? Perfect. All the way over there. Kick it out the... maybe the bottom there. And have it all the way go back to there. We'll just snip it until it's ready. And that's how that'll go. We could put an automation and make sure that it's going to come back cool enough, but honestly, it's not picking up that much heat from the steam that was in there. So I'm not too worried about what we come up with. This line is being underutilized as far as its cooling potential, so again, we want to crank up the heat in here so that we get more out of our steam turbines. Maybe we can get our guys to mop. Mop, mop, mop. Yeah, we reclaimed a whole 100 kilograms. Yeah, I'd like to do something like that. And is there anywhere they can't reach? I don't think so. They should be able to hop into all these spaces and do all of that. I must say, I mean, they're okay for what is close to a freebie, but the AETNs, the cooling power is not what I had hoped. Which is why we really haven't made a push to utilize the extra ones. I just thought we'll throw some hydrogen at them at some point and make some coolness. That's about it. Well, it's interesting, the patchwork of all the biomes, right? I don't notice that often enough. Oh, what do we have in here? Oh, stuff is freezing and melting. I have been making carbon. I think we're okay for now. Let's just double check. Refined carbon, we got 10.8 tons, so yeah, we're good there. Iron, we're fairly low, but it's okay. And lime, we have enough to do quite a few crafts. All right, it's almost done. Just crank this up a notch, shall we? Move that aluminum in there. And we should probably make sure this stuff goes away. I'm very tempted to close off these doors and force them to use the transit tube, which I might do after they finish cleaning up the water and the ice from this bout. I would like to actually... I think I'll put a couple solar panels here just because we can, and then put the rocket here. So the base, we're not going to use all that much space. I'm not even sure we'll end up making a park out of this volcano. Just because I'm not sure we'll need that space. The idea is, like I say, we'll probably extend out the living quarters a couple levels, and then underneath try and fit the monument and the central station, but it might just be the central station and then the monument might live elsewhere. There's really no way to fit the monument into a park and be the central station at the same time. I think what I did in the past, which was this, obviously the monument exists in its own space, but it was, you know, it was a focal point above this central station. You can see much of the living quarters and base off to the side here. That was a very big base. You can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28 dupes, something like that, maybe 30. And I'm pretty sure we're going to stick to 24 or less this time around. That was a long time ago, though. It was like a lot of these projects, I'm pretty sure that was ethanol under there, and but it was a park, you know, but we only have 120 for space to work with for a park. So we'll work the monument in somewhere and make it look pretty. But yeah, the central station might just occupy the very bottom of the base, and it'll be one way out, and I think that'll be fine. We'll work with that in the future. Again, it's just, at some point, I've got to rip off the band-aid, so to speak, and do some nuking of the base. Also, you guys... Why are you getting dropped there? I think this is actually a problem, maybe with the critter drop-offs. I suppose it's possible for eggs to have been there, but we need a critter in here anyways, so... Wrangle, 9. You're fine, you're fine. So the other one will have to get wrangled to other places. Okay. That one. We're going to move to here. And that's going to be priority 9. This move is going to be priority 9. Let's get that done, please. There we go. So we're at our 8 of 8 critters all the way across the board. And this is getting moved down to here. Cool. One thing I'm thinking is I have this set to 2 critters, but I can have it set to 0 critters. And they'll just wrangle what's ever in there. Oh, but this is a problem, isn't it? They'll never wrangle that hatch if he's standing on the door. I don't know. This whole space needs to be moved. I mean, the whole critter setup, including the wild crops. I would like to have more lettuce. Reminds me, did we ever make... We made Frostburger. Frostburger, select. High priority, please. We can turn back on Surf and Turf now, too. Oh, I just saw someone pick up the Frostburger. That totally took my train of thought and crashed it, but I'm happy to have caught that before we ate through all that burger. There's the burger. Oh, you like that. You like the burger. Story tray complete. Mysterious Hermits. My sweet duplicant's efforts paid off. Our reclusive neighbor has agreed to join the colony. The only keepsake he insists on bringing with him is a toolbox, which, while rusty, seems to hold great sentimental value. Now that he'll be living among us, his former home can be deconstructed or repurposed as storage. Welcome, new duplicant. Jorge, welcome. Let me have a look at your skills. Building, suit wearing, operating. That's pretty cool. Age, 4,273 cycles. He's old. Jorge loves his new colony, even if their collective body odor makes his eyes water. Okay. Duplicant with ancient knowledge, irritable barrel, green thumb, charismatic, ugly crier, balloon artist. He's got lots of skills. That's great. Okay. The hermit loved his food. And the recruitment progress. Yes. They found what appears to be a page from an old logbook tucked behind the mailbox. View file. Recovered pod. Entry number 022. Local time, hour 7 of 9. 7 of 9, okay. Notable improvement to nutrient retention. Subjects who participated in most recent meal intake displayed minimal symptoms of gastrointestinal distress. Mineshaft excavation at 𝘊𝘰𝘰𝘳𝘏 crater resumed following resolution of tunnel wall fracture. Projected time to brine reservoir penetration at current rate, 41 days local time. Moisture seepage along eastern wall of shaft is being monitored. Note, preliminary substance temperature data is significantly lower than programmed estimates. And then, yes, all the extra stuff. The cousin's wedding. Yes, and then our stuff paid off. Okay. Nice. Jorge. Look at all that. New achievement earned. What is this one? No place like clone. Have at least 20 duplicates living. The colony. So we can use it as storage. It can store 250 tons, which is kind of cool. Oh, and we got the rusty toolbox. Okay, we're going to need another place for that. Rusty toolbox. My poor voice is gone. Pardon me. All right, that's great. What's also great is getting the steel. The steel. Give me. There we go. We're going to send that back around. We're going to immediately cool off this water. We'll be able to make tons and tons of steel. Literal, actual tons. Pardon me. So yeah, I think that is definitely a worthy thing to have going. I used to be putting, what, ice in there, but we don't really have room for more ice. So we can remove those. And I want to see this temperature come down. Yeah, we're 12 degrees and it's coming out here. It's already up to the 442, which is perfect. But we should see this coolant come down in temperature as we cool down the water. And you can see they're already making use of it. So yeah, we've already dropped a couple degrees in just a few seconds, which is great. Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. What are we doing here? We're poke shell molt, eggshells, and yeah, we don't have any more poke shell molt, but the eggshells, we have lots of that. We could get the fossil into lime forever. However, maybe not forever. Let's just do 50 of those jobs. Yeah, that should come off pretty quickly. Now that we have more people working for mechatronics engineering stuff. And our steel's going in. Beautiful. I think what I could do is just reconstitute this area just below the cooler. This guy is kind of neither here nor there. The carbon dioxide vent, I don't think we're ever going to do anything with that. So it can just stay there as far as I'm concerned. But actually we could put it in here and still utilize the same cooling network. But this, I mean, this network is covering a huge area. It's doing all of our space stuff. It's doing this vent down here. We could have it doing this vent stuff as well. Not that we need it, I guess. It's natural gas. But there's volcanoes down here. Oil reservoir. There's lots of opportunity for cooling, and plus we're going to need to redo cooling for the base. But there's stuff I want to move. I want to move all the hydrogen generators. I want to move all of this, including this oxygen storage, which is it's a small nightmare. But we can piggyback off of this oxygen storage if we so choose. We've got 4 pumps, which is not enough for the base and the dupe suits, or the Atmos suits. So we'll see. We're storing Atmos suits in here. I think I just wanted them stored in there temporarily, but I really want them returned to docks because I don't think these guys have them. I don't want any of those, or mushroom. Fine, we'll take sandstone. I am thinking that we're going to have people return to the base and not go out for a minute. I need to take stock of all the Atmos suits, so when they're done their cycle, we're going to end up with some idleness, but we can stand that for a cycle. So let me just pass a little time here and see what we're left with. Meanwhile, someone popped up as trapped. I think we're okay, though. It was literally as I was pressing pause. No, here we are. Oh, how did you manage that one? Because there's no clearance on the suits, right? Okay, you're gonna come in the top then? I must have just trapped them at the exact right time. We have people coming in up here, but whether or not we have another 4 dupes out and about, I highly doubt it, actually. There's one. And that's probably it. No, there's 2. Oh my god. The iron is being used so fast. Oh, we have a ton of crude oil in the bottom of there. That's a problem. How, I don't know. But the whole sour gas cooking off thing is, I must admit, pretty annoying. Okay, is that the last one? We had... No, I see a dupe right there. Where'd they go? They're going up to mop. It's the builders who are out and about. Builder diggers. Okay, well that's nice that you've done that. Thank you. I'm gonna have to find the mod that allows you to have sweep filters. Because that was really handy back in the day. Okay, you gonna go back in the base now? There's one. And then if there's one out there, then that's the last suit. Okay, they're all accounted for. That's all I really wanted to know. Go off and be free, my friendly dupes. Also, I just love how this Sweetle colony has been here since pretty much day 1. These were the wild ones that were in the environment. Yeah. I'm at a bit of a loss as to where to continue. I think we're gonna, yeah, like I said, design a space out here for or 96 tile ranches. I think it was what, by 6? I mean, but by 8 works as well. 12 by 8. What is this based off of roughly? It's 13 by 9, but it's got a lot of stuff filling it. So obviously, I'm going to have to redesign the Dreco ranches. All right, tell you what. We're just going to start off with a line of granite tiles right over top of this pipe. Just seems a natural place to start. And we can get rid of the ladders afterwards. Let me see. So, yeah, really, these ranches are just super simple. We only need this kind of space for all of them. A 32 tile space, and the rest of it is just dead space. So it can be vertical space without much problem. We have an abundance of vertical space here. We could look at butting up here, but we may not need to. Just to put in Dreco Ranch, Dreco Ranch. I think we're only going to need 2 Dreco Ranches. And then at least 3 hatch ranches. Probably 4 plus, though. $11 by 11, 121 tiles. We need to keep it down to 96, though, so 10 by 10. I mean, I could just copy and paste over. That would be an option. But this is kind of a very weird space. I also figured out how to load blueprints, different ones. You use the left and right keys to go through your different designs. So we want a new blueprint. A new copy. That space there. Dreco Ranch. Use blueprint. So yeah, in theory we could, yeah, we could just fit it in there if we move that dock. Not dock, this guy. And I mean, to be fair, there's nothing saying we can't do that. Might as well unpause it while these things happen. And the leg. Cycle 874. Still using copper wire there. Let's switch to iron ore. In fact, I'd like to switch the whole area to heavy watt conductive. We only have 18 tons of aluminum, though. How is the aluminum thing looking? We're still pulling vacuum. We still got lots here. This thing is kind of pissing me off, that tile, because it, yeah, how do we not run into that problem here? I don't know. But the aluminum tends to want to freeze into a block like that. Whereas the iron doesn't. The iron will precipitate into a solid, well, debris. It's fine. We just get someone to come in here and crack it open once in a while. We can get it moved like so, so it goes down onto the cooling area. I guess there's no need for you here anymore. You can see, even with the drips of really hot aluminum down there, that's still only like 100 degrees, the aluminum that's down there. This is much hotter over here. Is that where it ended up? Well, that's the stuff I swept from the top. It's spreading its heat. I don't know. This system is working fine. There's not really a need to add any more extra cooling. Oh, you're dormant now, hey? Great. Your next activity is in 32 cycles. We've got 3 pumps emptying out this area. As soon as we get the water line down below here, we'll close it off again. And I'm going to close it off here. And we'll go for a similar size to this, just for some sense of, if not symmetry, then, you know, some standardization. Which, what do we have? 7 tiles deep there. So I'd be looking at that for the bottom. No need for it right now, though. We'll just be setting ourselves back. Yeah. Yeah, I want to be able to close this wall off, so we'll let this drain. Alright, well, they put that in, and they left all kinds of little knobs all over this. I don't know why the game decided that so many of these little artifacts are desirable. There's a mod for that, too. This is getting put in. You have your power? Yes, you're powering up. This kind of works too, because I want to flatten out the roof of this as well. There we go. Flatten that roof out. We'll take out that stuff from the inside. And this will keep that area cool enough. We don't have to worry very much. In fact, it's so cool, we can open this door and use that cooling on the general area. Do I have... Let's change that tile to aluminum. We'll actively cool the door while we're at it. There we go. Maybe this should be the standard design for those other ones, where it's not super complicated, that's for sure. It's just a simple cooling loop and a pressure sensor and a pump, right? So easy peasy. And those ladders are no longer even necessary. Okay, so that's that. And I will, I think, redesign this in a slightly better way. I actually think a little bit of extra height wouldn't hurt this. Because the mealwood gets fairly tall. It's going to make it a little harder to build, but not too much. Let's double check here. Ranch. Stable, I mean. 96 tiles. This building's done. Or the line of stuff is done, so we can take out those. And do I want to... Yeah, I think I probably do want to use insulated tile on the sides of these things. We're gonna need a ladder, but I'll work out the position of that. 120, 99 tiles, 110 tiles. Kind of regretting this line of buildings now. But that's only because I've just arbitrarily chosen that this would be the reference line for the bottom of the Dreco Ranch. Because I think 110 tiles is about right. That kind of ends up being our thing. We're going to need the same kind of simple lock, but we'll be in suits, so we'll use a liquid lock. And a door. Right. Well, I'm going to have to work on that in the future. We're 40 minutes in, and I'm out of time. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. A little late on the release on this one. I had to have a nice deep nap this afternoon, which kind of interfered with the recording schedule, as you can imagine. But I'm glad I did, because naps are amazing. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Ta-ta for now.